Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, allegedly. I'm Smile.
Happy Monday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie. Happy gay summer, Mel.
Happy hump day, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm not humping anybody. I'm Rebecca Lavoie.
Happy Saturday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett. Oh, no.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and my mic is muted.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and that's Briscoe.
And welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we swat the haters aside with our astute takes and humor and joy. And
the joylessness
I don't give
of those
a fucking
people.
miss.
Hags.
You hear it first in the break in the story. One little crack and the whole thing gets wary. A witness swears but the timeline bends. A smile too smooth and the trail just ends. Mel Barrett says, hold up, look again. Rebecca Lavoie follows every thread. If it feels too neat, then it's not the truth. There's a shadow line running through the room. Something's off, something's off. You can feel it in the bones. Something's off, something's off. When the facts won't come home. Something's off, something's off. And the case won't stay in place. Something's off. We're the ones who chase.
We're gonna go members only.
Yeah, we're the ones who chase. Wait, did that witness just blink 3 times? Something's off. Something's off.
Something's off, Rebecca Lavoie.
Something's off indeed, Mel.
How you doing? You look
I'm
so
great.
bright and sunshiny and...
Thank you. It has a lot to do with the morning light coming through the giant window that's next to me, but it will eventually chill out a little bit and I'll look a little more glum like this.
I don't think so. I think that
Yeah.
I think that you are glowy from your beach vacay this weekend.
I had a great weekend. I mean, it's so funny. I would sort of
That's
dip into Twitter once in a while, and I'm like, folks, go outside. It's okay to dip in and just get a taste of the drama, but like spending the entire weekend just perseverating over what people are saying online, like writing
Using $5 words in the first thing in the morning.
like writing
Perseverating.
long Twitter analyses of like Nurse Kim's streams and like doing whatever. I'm like, guys, go out. You can do this when it's raining. It's going to rain later this week. Do that then. I mean,
Yeah.
last night we had a beautiful dinner on the deck. Kevin made a strip steak and we had baked potatoes and we
Nice.
had corn with some sort of herb butter. It's delicious. We
You
had
got your tiny hands.
yes.
She's like, I got tiny hands and I wore a sweater.
I wore a sweater just so I could put my tiny hands inside my sleeves.
I gotta get some. They're so good. They're so
Yeah.
good. Please.
I mean, we couldn't even we're supposed to watch a thing on Apple TV for work. We couldn't even watch that because Apple TV was down last night. I'm like, this is great. This is all just like going exactly as it should, like hanging out with the dogs, putting stickers on the dog's feet, taking them for walks, hanging out on the deck, going to the beach. Like that's what people should do on the weekends. How was your weekend? I worked the
My
whole
weekend-
weekend. Mel's about to say.
No, I didn't, but I did on Saturday. I did do a stream covering, the civil suit that Rosemary Scapicchio filed on behalf of Lindsay Clancy, and it was a really, really good discussion with people talking about their experiences with postpartum and their experiences with, prescription and the health insurance industry. It was a really lively debate, and everyone was so nice to everyone else. There was
That's
not a lot of
wonderful.
like shit happening in the chat. So it was really good. It was a good stream. I really enjoyed it. And then Sunday we finally did go see the Odyssey. We were supposed to go see it on Saturday.
What'd you
and
think?
We ended up, I loved it. I also didn't think it was too loud. I thought it was perfect.
Oh, it's so funny because I keep seeing people on Twitter and they're like, no one told me that my guts were going to come out of my asshole because of the loudness of the Odyssey. It must be theater to theater. My theater was intolerably loud. So,
I mean, maybe it must be theater to theater, but I mean, I know it was loud, but I really love good sound design in movies. And this, I was listening, the Foley, for those of you who don't know what Foley is, I'm sure a lot of you do, but for those that don't, Foley is basically the sound effects that are used in the film, but they're usually done by real human beings in a Foley studio where, like, if you hear someone's bones breaking, it's a couple of actors in a Foley studio, literally like breaking a stick to make it sound like
Or
a break.
celery. Or
It's
celery.
Foley artists are geniuses, and the Foley on this movie was
It was very
so
good.
good. Especially like the boat scenes. I completely agree with you about Samantha Morton.
Wasn't she
Holy
great?
cannoli. Oh my
She's so good.
God.
Yeah.
She plays one of my favorite characters too. I didn't realize she was playing Cersei, but
Somebody asked if it was louder than Dune. I can tell you, as somebody with very good ears that clearly aren't dulled away, like Mel's, it is much louder than Dune. Much louder than Dune. And
I
Dune is
must be
loud because Dune
partially
has.
deaf.
Dune also was not quite as loud as Blade Runner, the other Denis Villeneuve movie, which I freaking loved. But like the Dune movies are loud, but this was louder, definitely, and also bigger.
Yeah. I mean, Lindsay, we went together. She didn't think it was that loud either. So either we're both really hard of hearing or it was manageable.
Well, it's normal. It is normal for people when they get older for their hearing to become less sensitive. That has not happened to me. No, but it's true. That's just actually aging. That's like the thickening of your ear mucus or whatever the fuck it is.
Gross.
But like I have that has not happened to me. And so like you know how like those high pitched noises that only teens can hear, like I can still hear those. Like I have very, very sensitive ears. So but yeah, it's a lot. But I thought it was good. I mean, it's a fun like popcorn, it's a fun theater movie, right? Like it's definitely one you want to see in the theater. It's not one you want to
I couldn't look away from it. I mean, I didn't feel like it was 2.5 hours long. I really could not.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. Kyle Sharkey wants to know if you and Kevin are the screaming neighbors.
Oh, for folks who don't know what I'm talking about, let me pull that up. So one of my guilty pleasures is my town Facebook group. My town, I live in a town literally of 6,000 people. It's really tiny. It feels like a lot fewer than that. We have like, you know, the fact that we have our own fire department is like wild. Like we do not need that, but we have one. Anyway, so it's tiny, and we have a couple of very active Facebook groups, and one of them is incredibly active and very useful sometimes. Like I put up a thing the other day because I have this rotten window that I need to get fixed, and I was like, anyone know somebody who has blah blah blah, and I got like 18 contractor recommendations and whatever. But it is my guilty pleasure because my town Facebook group is also so unhinged. Like it'll go from another thing I responded to, which was like, does anyone have any 1,000-piece crossword puzzles? Because I'm super into them this summer, and I've gone through, and I was like, I have a bunch. And so I dropped a bunch off at this strange lady's house, whatever. It's that kind of thing. But then sometimes it's also this. Hi, not sure if you're on here, but whoever lives at blank road is welcome to come over and have a conversation instead of screaming on the top of your lungs for our kids to stop screaming in the middle of the day when they're playing in the water and slam your door shut. We're happy to have a friendly conversation is how they end it. It's unhinged. So no, we are not your neighbors. So we are not the screaming neighbors. Now, keep in mind, this person actually put the address of the screamer.
Of course. Why not? It's New Hampshire.
Just like put it out there. Not if you live on blank road and, you know, you're that person. Like if you live at street number blank road. Anyway, I love my town Facebook group. I love it. There's never a moment that goes by. Let me look at it right now without there being something completely unhinged near the top of it. It's like a lot of paranoia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that for you. My town, because I live in a pretty big city, is a little bit sadder than yours. Mine is usually like moms who are waiting for their benefits to come in and they don't have enough food for their children, and so a bunch of us get together and bring food to these people. I always feel awful, but like that's what we get. And then we have like we have a crotchety neighbor here so we live in like a townhouse community, and we have an HOA. We have 4 electronic car charging stations
in your HOA.
In the neighborhood, in our HOA.
Yeah.
And there's this old dude, this old white guy with a very yippy dog who lives literally, he is on the street where the car chargers are, and he lives across the street. And he incessantly, he's the e-charging Nazi guy. He will watch everybody and their time on the chargers And if he thinks that you've been there, these are parking spots. They're not just specifically like for chargers.
Yeah.
I mean, they are that you can't park there unless you have an e-car, but he will, if you park your car there at 10 o'clock at night to charge and you leave it overnight, he will unplug your charger.
Does he have an electric car?
He does, but he always gets this because he's home all day. But he will leave notes on cars. That's not what these parking spots are for. You can't leave your car overnight, which is bullshit. You actually can leave your car overnight. But if he doesn't like that you've been there too long, he'll unplug your car, which means that sometimes you come out the next morning and your car isn't charged and you can't go to work.
Do you guys have an electric car?
No.
And now you're like, and I never will.
Well, no, I think eventually we'll get like a hybrid or something, but I cannot, as much as we travel, like I like to drive, you know, I've driven across the country several times. I have driven back and forth from New Hampshire to North Carolina. For a year and a half, I drove from Boston to DC every week. I just drove to New Hampshire and back. That was, 20 hours of driving. I cannot imagine having an electric car and having to stop for a half an hour to charge it in the middle of an 8-hour drive. That would make me insane. Like, I'm the crazy person who maps out the whole thing. Like, I don't map it out, but I know that I got to get from DC with a tank of gas. I got to get through New Jersey because New Jersey, you can't pump your own gas.
Right.
And if you break down in New Jersey, you have
Why don't you want someone else to pump your own gas?
I don't like it. I like to pump my own gas. So, and they're also in New Jersey, there are these gigantic service stations that like they're always overcrowded. Everything's crazy. So I make it my point to get past New Jersey and New York because I love to fill up in Connecticut. I love to be on the Merritt, and the Merritt little pull-in stations over there are amazing.
Those little beautiful stone buildings that have the gas and the snacks.
So like I plan that shit out and I don't like to take my time. That's the other reason why I don't want someone else to pump my gas because they're slow as fuck. So I want to go to a place where I can get in and get out on my own terms. And I don't want to have to sit there for a half an hour to charge my fucking car. That's insane to me. So I know I sound very unliberal.
Rare hands. Most people I know that have electric cars, they usually have it. It's usually not their only car. Just so you know, this is why you need to move to a bucolic place like where I live. Does anyone have any eggs for sale I can come get right now? That's
right now.
Top post on my Facebook group right now. And then like 18 people are like, I have eggs. We have fresh eggs. We have fresh eggs. We have fresh eggs.
Oh, Katie is from Edinburgh. Edinburgh is my new favorite place in the whole entire world. Hi guys, so happy to catch a live. I live in Edinburgh and always seem to miss them. I'm worried that the new charges will cause issue with Aidan's bail. Yes, we are going to talk about that. We have a few things. Am I talking too fast? I've had a lot of coffee this morning.
No, you sound great.
Okay, great. So a couple of little housekeeping things. Tonight we do our members only. So if you're not a member, please become a member. You won't regret it. It's a lot of fun. Tonight, on Monday nights, we normally do Crossroads, but tonight, you all asked for it. We're going to be breaking down this new Scott Peterson documentary and giving our thoughts and opinions on the case. And that's going to happen at 5
But we are going to do a Crossroads this week as well, because I'm going to be away
Yes.
next week, and I wanted to get an extra members only stream in. I wanted to be like ninja it a little bit, as they say, and get a little.
I did manage to get Ellen Marie Marsh confirmed next
Fun.
week. She will be here as my co-host for at least one of the shows.
Yay.
We'll probably do a members only just so I can convince her to take a gummy because she's so funny when like the two of us are complete dopes when we both are on gummies. I've got to try to I probably should go buy some marijuana.
I just fall asleep. I'm the most tired.
I'm very smart and very funny.
Yes, we're going to make both. We're going to
opinion.
make all of the members only this week available on all the tiers.
All the tiers.
And I'm thinking about the tier stuff. There's something you can do with tier stuff that I can't figure out. So we're just going to leave it as it is right now. So stay tuned for potential changes on that. But I'm not touching anything anytime soon. What else do we have in business? Oh, send us a tip. There's a pinned, I don't know if it's this way or this way, right in the comments, a pinned.
It's over there.
It's down. It's
there.
that way.
Yeah.
There's a pinned link in the comments that down there that show you how to tip us either by Venmo, PayPal, or Cash App. We appreciate it. We appreciate your super chats. We will read your super chats. Of course, we'll read some of your other comments as well. And yeah, so thank you. Thank you for supporting our program. We really appreciate your
Our
support.
program. That was
Mhm.
definitely a public radio.
Yes,
speech
I have
right
been
there.
pitching Fund Drive. We have our car raffle this time of year. If you're interested in winning $35,000 toward a new car or $30,000 in cash, and if you live in a state that allows raffles, go to nhpr.org, buy a car raffle ticket or two, and tell them I sent you. Just do that.
Yep, do that.
Be supporting
So
journalism.
we're getting very close to 11,000 subscribers. Please subscribe.
Where are we at?
We are at 10.6.
I'm looking. Oh, that's
Well,
not
10
bad.
just under 6.
It's so exciting.
Thanks for all the jewels and gems and all the things you guys.
We have
are
no
sending
idea
us.
what that means.
We have
I still have no
But
idea.
thank
Do you have any
you.
idea what
Appreciate it.
that what we do with that? Is it
Well-
like tickets at an arcade? Is it transferable for like prizes?
Somebody told us that for every gem, I think it is, you get 1 cent, which is very sweet of you all. And what I have been noticing is when people send us jewels and gems, sometimes there's like a thing attached to it. So somebody up in the chat sent us one that had a corgi. 1,000 jewels equals a corgi, apparently.
Oh,
So I don't fucking know. I don't know. Jen, who has been a member for 1 month. Thank you. I hope to see you tonight. Said, I heart your POV on everything, whether it's disagreeing or agreeing. It brings a different view on topics so I can understand a different perspective. We like that about us too. Kel's Bells, member for a month. Thank you. Come tonight and have fun with us. Isn't that basically all of Facebook? Yeah.
No.
I think that you're
community groups are singular. Community groups are singular. Facebook is nuts. But your town groups, if you don't belong to a group that's associated with your town, what are you doing with your life? Because it's the best. It is, especially if you live in a small town. It is the best. I got into a fight on my town Facebook group a couple years ago because some lady posted a picture of a tree and it had so clearly been clawed at by like a bear, right? And she was like, and it was like on one of the trails in town, and she's like, young people out there vandalizing our trees left and right. And I was like, what in the hell are you talking about? Those are so obviously. And she's like, no, someone went out there with an axe and I was like, so you are sowing paranoia and fear into the woodsy trails of our beautiful little town by implying that some young hooligans are out there with axes, like snipping the bark off of a tree when it literally is like claw marks. Anyway, I had to bring some documentation from the Audubon Society into my fight, and I didn't win. Still.
2 things that I think that we're missing in our StreamYard chat. I guess when people put these jewels in, an actual thing like pops up, like when the corgi was. Look at the YouTube. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, the corgi was so cute! Look at that floating heart."
What are they talking about? I want to see.
That airplane was so cool. I have no idea.
I want to see.
This is one of my favorites too. Jess said, I'm just saying, said, favorite question in my community group is, what was that loud noise? I love those ones too. Did you guys
we have
feel
so many of those.
Did you feel that?
Did you feel that? What was that sound? Did someone hear an explosion off of Dolly Road?
Hey, Emily, that's super generous of you. Emily just sent us a tip for $50.
Emily, or some other Emily?
Emily Staley.
Nice. Thank you very much, Emily. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Yeah, I still can't. Hold on. I'm looking in the chat. It says it's mobile only. Well, I'm not in mobile. I'm on my. Never mind. I'll have to look at this later. Anyways,
all right.
So we have stuff that we wanted to discuss, right?
Yeah. So the only other scheduling thing that I wanted to talk about. So we're going to do Scott Peterson tonight. We're going to schedule a crossroads for later in the week, and then tomorrow morning. So after we get off of this stream, I'm going to watch the opening arguments for Lindsay Clancy, and I want to tell you about them tomorrow. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay. So for tomorrow's stream, we'll do that. And then I think we'll probably do a crossroads either Wednesday.
What time did you want to go on tomorrow?
7:45.
I'm pitching in the morning. Can't go on in the morning. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. What time do you want to go? It's actually better for me not to go in the morning.
I could go in the early evening, but I could not. The day is really
I love
tight.
that we're just having our scheduling.
Yeah. Well, we'll take this off. We'll circle back. We'll take this offline, as they say in corporate
Honestly,
meetings.
if you're not available tomorrow, I can do a solo with the Lindsay Clancy stuff.
Also fine.
Yeah. Okay. So first, right off the top, I want to do a dumb tweet. That's one of the first things I want to do.
I love a dumb tweet.
Dumb tweets. Let me see if I can find it. Where did I put it? Dumb tweet. Hold on.
People keep saying I got to paint the nails on my little hands.
Well, maybe if you feel like it. Share screen. Okay, here we go. And of course, our dumb tweet of the week is coming from.
Let me guess. Mama Llama?
Yeah.
Oh, I knew it.
You did it. You knew it. I don't know if you can see this, but it says from one Miss Mama Llama and she brought receipts apparently. David Yanny wants a journalist to quote unquote correct a story that quotes his own exact words. Good luck with that, Boston defender. And then she puts up David's tweet that says, "Hey, Linda Pizzuti, do you have any editors these days at Boston Magazine, or have they all taken the summer off? While I will anxiously await the correction you must publish to the shoddy reporting of Gretchen Voss, please also tell John Henry that our beloved Red Sox could use a couple of bats at the trade deadline. Thanks." And then she pulls up direct quotes, but from Gretchen Voss's article. And then she also shows the tweet. I mean, she also shows the text message that she shouldn't actually have access to because it was leaked to her by Meredith. And so she brings up David's tweets. But what she's not keeping in mind here is that David Yannetti was right.
Well, also the context sheet that Gretchen Voss misquoted him out of context. He was talking about the cops, and she implied that he was talking about the McCabe's and Alberts.
Well, I just think it's funny.
And that's a correction that he got actually correctly. That's a correction that he got the Boston Magazine to print at the bottom of their article.
That's why I think it's funny. This is a dumb tweet because she's like, "Yeah, good luck with that, buddy." And the next day he's like, "Here's the correction they were forced to make." There were some other little, like, David Yannetti was dropping some hints, I will say.
She called him a misogynist.
Yes, she did.
She called him a misogynist because he called her sweetheart in his tweet. And this is in response to you go after women because she was like female. He's chosen as female victim of the day. And she also, and it's like, and he said, "I love women."
Do you want to put that on the screen?
Sure. I thought I did.
No.
He said, "I love women. Please forgive me for preferring to associate with women who possess integrity, character, and smarts. Named one woman I have challenged outside of a courtroom who has not attacked me first. Such a sad tactic to take cheap shots at someone and then assume victimhood and hide behind your gender when that person defends himself. The women who have operated that way on X will read this post and know exactly whom they are. This post will therefore enrage them because they are so predictable, and I admit that I will continue to be entertained by their outraged responses. Cue the keyboards. Perhaps you are one of them. Perhaps you didn't really give much thought to the point you're making before you posted. Either way, I'm not interested in your opinion." And then I tweeted about that. I said, "Cue the keyboards indeed. I think what some of these folks don't realize is that acting as if women aren't fair game after making bad faith arguments is actually sexist. Women can be just as dumb as men, and it would be very sexist not to acknowledge that." And then David Yannetti said to me, "Wise words from a woman with integrity, character, and smarts."
Rebecca immediately got wet.
Hey now.
Our 9 a.m. crowd. Our 9 a.m. crowd doesn't know anything about our cross roasts.
Hey now.
But Rebecca
Rebecca
got chills. She got chills all over her body.
I got chills. As one bad as never mind. I got chills. I'm just gonna leave it there. They're multiplying.
Everybody else keeps telling us that apparently Lauren Matthias is hugging Jess Machado at the Lindsay Clancy trial. I am one of those people who does not know who Lauren Matthias is. Do you know who she is?
Yes.
Okay, tell me.
She's one of these insane true crime content creators who is like she's a crime con type, and she's one of these people who will go to trials around the country and ingratiate themselves with the family just so that she can have content where she seems more empathetic, but she's actually wildly unempathetic. And she not dissimilar to some other folks in our little corner of YouTube. She got some criticism on the internet and immediately labeled the person criticizing her a stalker and got her like kicked out of like crime con and stuff. And she has this like psychologist or psychiatrist husband who she does her programming with, who is not great. They're not great. Her husband is a fake forensic psychologist. Yeah, he's the kind of person who will ascribe meaning to anything.
Are they like the Prosecutors podcast? Or
no,
like
they're more
Julie
like
from Court TV.
They're more like Simpy. They're more like we are on the side of the angels. They're more like that. I'm sure she's got words on her walls that say like blessed and stuff like that. She's one of those. But she's a true crime. There is a corner. I've long known this because of folks who don't know, my main podcast that I've been doing for 10 years is about true crime podcasts and true crime documentaries. And so we have encountered a lot of like, there's a whole weird side of the true crime community that doesn't make anything original, doesn't do anything original. They just sort of talk about stuff like from Wikipedia. Kevin calls them Wikipedia Browns, right?
Yeah.
And then there's this like enhanced super version of that, which is the Wikipedia Brown who actually flies around the country and like goes to trials and ingratiates themselves with. So it's like mega Wikipedia Brown. Yeah. And she has this sort of like influencery. There's a sort of weird part of true crime-y that's also kind of like influencery and weird. Anyway, she's one of those, and it's not great. It's just not great.
And now she's like hugging it out with macchiato.
Yeah.
The other Emily, who's been a member for 3 months, thank you so much. We hope to see you tonight. Emily said, "Y'all were in my dream last night. What were we doing in your dreams last night?"
Was I getting tweets from Yannetti in your dreams?
I think we were probably scissoring.
Hey now.
Is it too early for this kind of talk?
Making this podcast so sexual. It's so unnecessary. This is not a gay summer. Oh, wait, it is. Never mind.
That's what we do, Rebecca. Heather Poppins, thanks for becoming a member. We'll hopefully see you tonight. It should be fun. Probably a little controversial tonight. Non-conversational says my hair is A+ today. I think maybe actually they mean both. They only said, well, non-conversational said, Mel, you know what I'm going to say. Hair A+ today. And I think
your hair is A+ today.
They must be talking about both of us, but I appreciate
non-conversational. I just washed mine and mine doesn't look good.
Let me know.
Yeah, mine doesn't look good for 2 or 3 hours after I wash and dry. It takes a little while to settle down. Your hair looks great. It really does.
Thank you. Aaron rambles on, said the note my objection lawyer keeps going off on TikTok about how people don't like her because she's.
Oh, no, that's not why we don't like you, girl. It has nothing to do with why we don't like you. Because I'm a woman. I love me some women. And we don't like you because you're wrong about everything. Although your interview with Carrie was a highlight of my year.
The interview with Carrie Roberts. We did that on a Crossroads. That was a good one.
We did. I may have said some inappropriate things.
Well,
sorry about the buzzsaw. There's somebody's like cutting down a tree.
I can't hear.
Can you hear that? Oh, okay.
No.
Somebody's cutting down a tree within audible distance of my home.
I don't know how to say her name. H. Johnsgard said, "Thanks, Mel, for live this weekend about Lindsay Clancy's civil case. You being willing to discuss mental health is so healing. Love you." It was a really good conversation. I'm not gonna lie. And then somebody said, "Oh."
Non-conversational, Reb, you're both a woman and yet also a mansplainer. 100% I am.
I would agree.
100%. 100%.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That was really good. That was funny. Okay.
And true.
Let's see. Okay. Do you want to talk about the AntiSlapp or do you want to talk about Turtleboy's New Jersey situation?
Well, let's just pull up. I think the best place. I mean, you can talk a little bit about what he had to say about it. But I just want to show you, for those who are behind.
What?
Hold on one second.
What?
Sorry, I got a Slack from work. I thought it was an emergency. It's not. It's not an emergency.
Sarah
Okay.
Lewis, thanks for the $20 tip. You both are awesome. Thanks for all the work you do. Thanks for all the work you do, Sarah.
Thank you for all of your work. So this was from Mark Bederow. This was a few days ago. This was on the 23rd. For immediate release. Yesterday, we were notified about an Atlanta County, New Jersey indictment of Aidan Kearney. Although this indictment remained sealed within hours, its existence was improperly leaked to third parties. This prosecution stems from the civilian complaint of a New Jersey resident who intentionally contacted Mr. Kearney, hoping that he would publicize her long-term humiliation of a Massachusetts citizen who was the brother of John O'Keefe, the victim in the high-profile Massachusetts prosecution of Karen Reed. The complainant contacted Mr. Kearney to generate online attention, hoping this would grant her access to people close to the Reed case. Mr. Kearney has never met this woman, and he has not stepped foot in New Jersey in years. The Atlantic County prosecutor's decision to present this matter to a grand jury is both disappointing and virtually unprecedented. It is clear the prosecutor has serious doubts about the merits of this case and the credibility of the evidence. The indictment follows the complainant's voluntary withdrawal of a civil proceeding she brought against Mr. Kearney. She chose to terminate that proceeding rather than be subjected to cross-examination after a respected Superior Court judge entered critical rulings in favor of Mr. Kearney's right to free speech. After the civil matter concluded in Mr. Kearney's favor, the prosecutor sat on the civilian complaint for 7 months. On August 7th, the assigned prosecutor advised us that she had determined this matter would not be presented to a grand jury, and a decision was forthcoming about whether the civilian complaint would be dismissed or remanded to the municipal court. Within minutes of this update, the assigned prosecutor reversed course, now informing us that she had been directed to immediately present the matter to the grand jury. She then declined our request to meet with Atlantic County Prosecutor William Reynolds. She further declined our request that Mr. Kearney be afforded the opportunity to testify as a witness before the grand jury. No citizen should be indicted for speaking freely and expressing his or her own opinion about matters of public concern. A grand jury is entirely controlled by a prosecutor. It's a one-sided presentation with a low burden of proof. We are confident that when all of the facts and circumstances surrounding Mr. Kearney's indictment are revealed, it will be apparent to any reasonable person that his speech, which serves as the basis for this indictment, is protected by the First Amendment and New Jersey law, and that he has not violated New Jersey's cyber harassment statute. And that is from Mark Bederow, Linda Kenny Bodden, and Darren Gelber, his attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
So this is about Lindsay Stacchini. Lindsay Stacchini is the woman who baited Paul O'Keefe into an online sexual relationship. During which he sent her photos of himself without clothes, apparently other photos that I have not seen nor want to see. Right. And he apparently told her he was giving her signals from the courtroom and that he had testified in the first trial drunk. So this is this woman. She did all these things. Then she presented them to Aidan Kearney on a platter. He published some of it. He later talked about who had sent it to him. And that led to this whole her citizen complaint around cyber harassment and bullying, a complaint that she withdrew after the court proceedings started, but she didn't want to be cross-examined. And then clearly the powers that be in New Jersey took the civilian complaint and went a little farther with it. So, yeah.
This is her and this is him.
Yeah.
And his bathroom selfie, which is just weird. It's awkward. Okay, bye.
She catfished Mr. Paul.
Darlene would like to know if you use a Dyson on your hair.
I do. I use a Dyson with an aftermarket round brush, small round brush head. And there is a Dyson on my, we don't link products anymore because it was ruining our streams. So I was going to say it's on our product list, but we can't do that anymore. We were doing it wrong. It was me. I was doing it wrong. Yeah, that pic isn't her, somebody said.
Yeah, I don't know. That's TB's blog, but I mostly was pulling it up for Paul's bathroom selfie.
Oh, thank you.
Noni Lady, thanks for becoming a member. We hope to see you tonight. Let's see. So Aidan did respond to all of this. I think the thing that I'm most concerned about is that there seems to be something nefarious going on, Rebecca.
Why would you use the word nefarious, Mel?
Because it seems nefarious. And that to me, what I'm seeing, and I might just be a conspiracy theorist and I might be reading into it too much. And I might just be, I just don't trust the Commonwealth of Massachusetts anymore. No, I didn't really ever trust them, but now it's worse. I feel like that this happened because they want an excuse to revoke his bail and put him back in jail.
I don't think they're in charge of what happens in New Jersey. So I don't think that's the case. That being
just feel
said,
like there was something, there's got to, I mean, the way that it happened so quickly after she, you know, on the stand said she didn't feel comfortable because she didn't feel like she was threatened.
that was 7 months ago.
I know, but I'm just saying.
So you think someone from Massachusetts asked someone in New Jersey to indict him so they could revoke his bail in Massachusetts?
I don't know if it was that direct. It could have just been hinted at. I don't know. But like
Okay.
this all seems really, really vindictive and frivolous to me.
Certainly seems vindictive and frivolous. I agree with that. I also think can I just say for the record?
Yes.
The entire idea, as much as I dislike Paul O'Keefe, the entire idea of catfishing someone to bait them into an online sexual relationship for the purposes of publicly humiliating him is so gross and weird. It says a whole lot about, I think, the sort of character and temperament of that person than it does about anything else.
For sure.
And yeah.
I just wanted to really quickly, because Aidan did cover this on his show the other night. So I wanted to show a little bit, just a couple of clips from that so we can get it from his mouth as opposed to trying to figure out what happened on our own.
I mean, Lindsay Stacchini, the reason why it got out, it leaked, is because she was told, because she was she's the victim in the case, alleged victim, and that she's friendly with the Kate Peter types. So she told Kate. Kate now has a line to Mike Crawford. Mike Crawford shared it on Twitter before it came out. She did, etc. So every time somebody finds themselves in this situation, Kate Peter seems to be their first stop. By the way, Mike says we're next. Mike says he listed 24 women apparently on his show that Aidan has done something to. And Rebecca, he's like, you're next. And I'm like, the fact that you think I'm a future victim. Yes. The fact that you think I'm a future victim of somebody I know via the internet says more about you than it does about me. Just saying.
Conti Cryford. Okay, here we go.
Oh my God, it's so Conti.
The messages. Okay. It starts January 31st. Hey, Daddy, on Facebook. Remember, I don't know this person. Never met them. Okay. I have some things I wanted to share to you, but I'm worried about my identity. I've been in touch with Paul O'Keefe a lot, and I'm a Lexus owner. So she tells me she has information with Paul O'Keefe. So I'm a journalist. I mean, there's only one reason to reach out to me is because I'm a journalist, right? So I'm interested to hear more about what that is. I'm all ears. And when you reach out to a journalist, you're not reaching out to your friend or girlfriend or to talk about it. You're reaching out to a stranger you don't know.
You're reaching out to someone you're a fan of.
Know because you broadcast stuff on the internet. There's only one reason to contact me, right? It's because you want this publicized.
Correct.
You want this out there.
Correct.
I mean, he has seen pics. Okay. She immediately began opening up while Paul was sending her pictures, describing his penis to her, and how he wanted to fly to Boston for hearings.
Tell me more about the penis part.
Pics. He has seen pics, and he has sent me pics. Shirtless. But he has described his dick.
Oh.
I should not be telling you this, but yes, she is. He's very chatty today. He wants me to fly there and will pick me up at the airport.
He's a precious
He's definitely
boy.
trying to hook up. I said, how do you know Paul? I don't. From TV, I reached out to him. He responded, asked for my number. If you want to verify me, ask me something about him. I'll find out the answer. I said, wow, you saw him so you saw him on the trial. She goes, I obviously have screenshots, aka I'm offering these to you.
Wow.
Correct.
I'll tell you about this, Mr. Reporter, Mr. YouTube guy.
Mr. YouTube guy. Mr.
Okay.
YouTube guy.
And I go, wow, so you reached out to him and then he asked for your number? Was he hitting on you? I have him on my very, very good side. He cannot find out or I'm talking or else he will stop talking. So she's like, I want to continue to.
Okay, so the interesting thing to me about this, and we're not going to go through the whole thing.
That's crazy. That is insane.
The fact that she's like, I got to keep, I'm on his good side right now. I'm going to keep it this way. I have to keep lying. I have to keep, what fucking crazy shit. What are we doing, you guys? This is insane. Like, you don't do this. You don't do this.
People
you
inserting
also
themselves into real world matters as if they're
Don't
that
put it in
important.
writing. What are you doing? Don't you put it in writing to
I
Aidan
don't know.
of all people?
It's so embarrassing. This is the thing. So many people do things that are so embarrassing.
So embarrassing.
I would never leave the house again. I would.
Yeah.
I think her like dad's a judge and her husband's a lawyer or something like that. I would never leave the house ever again. Ever.
Yes. All right, let me pull up one more clip that was.
And then she put in a citizen complaint, a criminal complaint, saying that he talked about this, talked about all of this online, and he was talking about how crazy it was.
Yeah.
And then it became, and you know what happens when he says somebody's crazy? A bunch of
Right.
people who are fans of his also are like, yeah, that is crazy. You're right. That's
Yeah.
nuts.
We're doing it right now.
I mean, because it is. That's nuts.
It's crazy. Yes. Okay, let me play this one other clip. This is about the bail being revoked, possibly.
So embarrassing for Paul, too.
Ugh.
Because Paul is just like dying to have the girlfriend experience, right? He's going to this trial every day. He's an alcoholic. He's miserable. He's, his wife is probably like enough already with the drinking. And he hasn't had like that rush of like girlfriend experienceness probably in years. He gets approached by what he thinks is a beautiful single woman on the internet. And he's like, yeah, buddy, I'll glaze that donut.
Yeah. And after the text conversation that we just saw between them, Turtleboy obviously reported it. He obviously was like, this is what Paul's doing. Yeah. And she then sued him.
She didn't sue him. She filed a criminal complaint.
Sorry. That entailed cyber stalking, lewd behavior on the internet. And then it was dropped. And then they took it to a grand jury and indicted him. It's just fucking weird.
It's nuts.
Relentlessly on Twitter. And I have not responded and accused them and me of some of the most heinous things. She harassed David Yannetti and Ian Runkle on Twitter because they came on my fundraiser. She has constantly tried to do this. And I have not responded or done anything. And we sent all this information to the prosecutor. And they called me. They called my lawyer on July 7th, Darren Gelber, and said, we are not trying to pursue this. We're not going to send this to a grand jury. We're either going to dismiss it or send it to municipal court, let them deal with it, like the t-shirt lady. And then they called them back 5 minutes later. She called them back 5 minutes later and said, my higher ups told me we're sending to a grand jury. So she was overruled by somebody called something in and she was overruled. Okay. And then this grand jury was held 2 days ago. We don't know what they presented. We don't know who testified. We offered that me testify in front of the grand jury. It didn't happen. And now there's an indictment and we have no idea what it's for. And I assume they're going to try to use this. I can only assume that they will try to use this as a way to get my bail revoked and send me to jail for 60 days. So I want the whole story. That is what happened. I have no idea if Cosgrove is going to do that. I would hope not. I would hope he looks at the facts of this and realizes that this is, I've done nothing to this woman, nothing. She sought me out. I wrote about what she did. I gave my opinions on it. Called of me names. She's called me names. It is what it is. So I don't know what to say. There's nothing more to say. I'm not going to be commenting anymore.
Okay. So he's, positing that there's a possibility that, his bail is going to be revoked. And I'm sure that's scaring the shit out of him and probably giving him, it's probably triggering his post-traumatic stress and all that stuff. And I feel for the guy. I do. To me, it feels like they are just trying to figure out any way to come after him.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody in the comments, let me just find it really quickly.
We know that's true for sure. Yeah.
Kay has Shelty says, I cannot fathom the money Massachusetts and New Jersey are spending on legal affairs harassing Aidan Kearney. How about the money he's having to spend? That's the point of it. The point is to try to bleed him dry so that he gives up. And the guy's not going to give up. And he now has to have an attorney. He has a good attorney. What's her first name? Bodden?
Linda Kenny Bodden,
who's part of the Justice Served LawTube channel. He now has to have an attorney in New Jersey. He's got Bederow. He's got Bradel. He's got Pike. What's his name? The guy from the defamation. Pyle. He's got all these really great attorneys on his side. but he's having to pay all these guys. Probably at the end of the day, it's going to be over $1 million.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like, that's the goal. The goal is to bleed him dry, to get him to shut up, which is why the anti-slap law exists in Massachusetts. It's to keep, like, I'm trying to transition here, but the anti-slap law exists so that people like Turtleboy can't be sued for defamation by giant, like by companies, by groups of people, by if they're doing their job. And now on top of 2 criminal cases, he has the criminal case in New Jersey now. He's got the criminal case in Massachusetts. He's got a defamation case against him. Is there anything? Am I missing anything?
I guess those 3 right now, yeah.
Are costing him tons.
I plan to sue him for defamation personally.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know who,
I mean, why not? Why not pile on?
You know who's hinted at possibly suing for defamation?
Yannetti. I think he's looking for corrections, which is the right route to go with an article like that.
Is, but did you see his tweet breaking down the primer about journalism and stuff?
I did.
He does have, I mean, the thing is, what they said about him without a correction is in print. It's not just online.
They can still issue a correction even if it came out in print.
They sure can, but
they still can. But they're not. I mean, they have Facebook post up that's like completely selling the article and the premise of it. So they're back in the article right now, and they've had to issue corrections right on the electronic version of the story, digital version of the story anyway. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah. Nacho's mama, a member for 4 months. Thank you very much. Thank you for all you do, ladies. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being
this is right. He also has to get representation to represent himself as the third party in the O'Keefe's v. Reed and Restaurants case.
Breenan's deviated septum says these women want everything. They don't want him to keep his house and his car. They're nuts. I don't think it's about women necessarily in this case. I think that Meatball Morrissey wants to take this guy down. And I think that he's just using the women. He's using Kate Peter. He's using all these women to try to take Turtleboy down.
He's using Kate Peter. I think that's a mutually beneficial relationship. I don't think.
I mean, no, I meant that he's using what she's giving him to try to take him down. That's what
Yes.
So anyway, I just think I feel for the guy, and he does not belong in jail or prison. And this has all really gotten blown out of proportion. And the amount of like lawfare that's going on right now with people just using the legal system to try to hurt people and take people down when they don't have strong cases is just, it's really starting to piss me off. I mean, and again, it goes back to, I'm sure you've noticed, Rebecca, but everybody involved in all of these cases are white folks.
Yes.
And they are privileged white folks.
Yes.
And imagine if Aidan was black.
I mean, it's a very difficult thing to imagine for a variety of reasons in terms of equivalencies for the situation. But, yeah, I mean, there was a thing this morning. Jess Machado said something along the lines of why can't more women who haven't slept with Aidan speak up against him and the men that surround him? Yeah.
The fuck?
And
it's disgusting.
It's a weird thing to say because it sort of is like, well, if you slept with him, you have no credibility, which is a weird thing to say about women, generally speaking. But also, these tiny hands are really like they're making it like they're really taking away from my seriousness, aren't they? I have myriad issues with Aidan and things that he says. I mean, that's not unknown. I mean, Jess also said it's impossible to talk on the phone with him. It's impossible to ever contradict him or say anything because then it will turn into a whole thing. No, it won't. Like I think it says a lot about you when you feel like you can't have an emotionally regulated conversation with a person who actually does have emotional regulation. I have, and I do. I don't think he's going to make a victim out of me and add me to the pile of the so-called 24 victims that real ally, Mike Crawford, on the internet says exist out there. But I just, despite the myriad issues I have with him and things that he has said and printed, in a million years, you could not get me to say that he's, quote, maybe he brought this on himself. Maybe he did this. Did he behave differently than I would behave? Yes. Did he say things about his cases when they're still, and is he still things that I would advise him not to say? Yes. Should he be in jail or prison?
No.
Are you kidding? Are you out of your mind? No.
Jess didn't have a problem with Aidan until he said he didn't like her show, Cassie Baby says, and I think I agree with that. Question for you, Rebecca, from Lisa. Is it still common practice for a print publication to have a corrections section for mistakes in the previous issue to be run following the masthead?
I don't know what's standard anymore. I mean, that was how it would go. It would be in both print and in digital. They've already put it out on digital. It is, I knew that magazine was already in print. I mean, the magazines, I've written for magazines before. They want your copy and your final photography and everything like 4 to 6 months before the issue comes out. So that this article was put to bed a while ago. And so, it gets laid out, it gets put to print. It was not being printed after the digital story came out. It was already in the process of being printed or already printed. So I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know. I'm guessing there. I would not be surprised if there were more corrections to come for sure. But like David Yannetti can only tackle the corrections that pertain to him specifically, and that's what he did. Turtleboy can only obtain the correction that applies to him specifically, and that's what he did. I don't know if others who feel like a correction needs to be issued will do that or have done it, but it is fun when an article has an obscene amount of corrections on the bottom of it. I find that fun. Have I ever had to retract something? Personally, no. I'll say that we did get we've made stupid mistakes in our books. Like we mistakenly called one of the counties Monadnock County in New Hampshire. And we both know there's no such thing as Monadnock County in New Hampshire. And that somehow made it through us and through our editor. But is that okay, I'm retracting that. But no, journalistically. I mean, I think on the podcast, I've made mistakes and then I've gone on and said, I said that in error. So sure.
I've done that. We've done that on this podcast too.
I think I've done it on Crime Writers maybe once or twice, but in terms of my day job as a journalist, no, I've never had to issue a retraction.
Okay. I have to run to the bathroom really quick. Do you want to start talking about the anti-SLAPP stuff?
Yeah. How about I go ahead? I'll go ahead and answer a couple questions while you're doing that because you're more knowledgeable about the anti-SLAPP stuff than I am. Okay.
Well, you're knowledgeable about anti-SLAPP. I think I might just have a little insight into what happened at the.
Go ahead and go pee.
The judge's order. Okay, bye.
Go ahead and go pee. Have they corrected the bouncy castle? To my knowledge, they have not. What you are referring to, of course, someone in the chat said, is that the Gretchen Voss article said that a juror said that there was a bouncy castle and a lobster food truck outside of court. The bouncy castle was not for Karen Read supporters. It was in a church yard across the street for a program that they run there, I guess, pretty regularly. Same with the food. The food was not for the Karen Read supporters. Although bringing a lobster roll truck down to court, that would have been smart, even if you parked a couple blocks away. When did Voss find out? Oh, I mean, when I say put to bed, I mean word length, and I mean you can change some details. But if that article had to be put to bed in June, it wouldn't have been any later than June, where that article would have been put to bed for print. I'm stressed about TB being thrown back in jail because those people are nuts. I can't imagine how he's feeling, losing sleep. I imagine the same is true. Thank you for being such a breath of fresh air. New subscriber. Thank you so much, Moo Chat Boy. We really appreciate you. Turtleboy just wired 60,000 for those new charges. That sounds about right. Women are his weakness and they are useful idiots. I'm assuming you're talking about Turtleboy. I would say sex and the appreciation of women are more of his weaknesses, but that's not a secret. He'll literally say that out loud on his stream all the time. He has a name for his penis. Like somebody who has a name for their penis has a different sort of just like attitude toward openness about talking about. Did you know that that Turtleboy has a name for his penis?
I have a name for my penis.
Really? What's your name?
I'm not going to tell you.
Oh.
It's private.
He calls his the Intimidator.
Oh, God. What a douchebag. I love you, TV, but come on. Seriously, brother.
It's funny, though.
It's the Intimidator.
I'm sorry. It's in a juvenile way. I'm very juvenile with penis jokes, and I think it's juvenile and funny. Why is Turtleboy mad at Nurse Kim? I don't know, and I don't know if he is. I have thoughts about the Nurse Kim thing, but
I literally can't. I cannot take another macchiato situation.
It's enough.
I have completely stayed away from the Nurse Kim situation because I just can't. There's two macchiato brings a lot of shit on herself. The last couple of things I saw from Nurse Kim, I am worried about her, and so I don't want to invest in any of this shit.
I agree
wish that we would step away from Nurse Kim and the whole situation.
I agree. I think I completely agree with you. I think Nurse Kim seems very isolated right now, and I think that understanding that she says she seems isolated and lonely, and she may not know and feel that way, but that's how she's coming across. And I don't watch her channel regularly, so I just have seen clips lately where I'm like, that is a person who's dealing with stuff. And I'm not interested in delving into that either, other than to say I think the situation is unfortunate, and I hope she has good friends in her life that she can turn to when she's ready. So go ahead, AntiSlapp.
Okay. Forgiving. Let me just do one comment before we go. Actually, a couple of comments. Forgiving River said, Mel, I need more timeline info and all the shady stuff that happened throughout the early hours of the morning prior to finding JOK. I feel like we've covered that. We've exhausted that, haven't we, on this channel? I mean, we could do it again. I mean, I have been talking about possibly going back and watching the trials with everybody. There's so much shady shit that happened in the morning hours that it would be like 2 streams to do that. I
think on a crossroads we have to do Brian Albert someday.
Oh, he's on the list.
Because so much Higgy and Albert shady stuff of them calling each other and talking. And then Higgins saying he didn't talk to anybody, and then the video coming out of Higgins literally looking at a phone all lit up.
Yeah. It's funny that you bring up Brian Albert, because for some reason this week I've been watching several content creators like Larry Foreman, Samantha Beningo, and then just sidebars from the trial channel specifically about Brian Albert. And I think that we're missing a lot of nuances about his testimony in trial 1.
Let's look at it then. Let's look at it.
We need to.
Let's cross-roast the shit out of that.
There is a lot there. Especially with the sidebars, because and like I forget who it is that was breaking him down psychologically, like breaking down like what his background is, with like the fugitive task force or whatever it was that he was on. And then there's also the what was it?
The many complaints about him beating up fellow police officers.
Yeah, but a lot of that shit didn't come in. And if you take the interviews he's done, like the major interviews after the trial, and you take the things that he said previously in the reality show that he was on, and the way he's acting now, and now this Gretchen Voss article and what he had to say about the feds in it, like, to me, it sounds like he and Colin were actually like actual suspects. Like, they were targets.
Yes.
They were targets.
Yes.
And like the idea that the antis are like, these were witnesses and they were begging the feds to protect them. I'm like, why would the feds fucking protect these guys if they were targets of their investigation?
They were.
Are you guys crazy?
I don't know if they could have done anything to, well, I guess, he's a cop. That could be a federal case.
Yeah.
But I also agree with you. I think the investigation was about Morrissey, but it's pretty clear it could be interpreted as clear who the feds thought threw the fatal blow at John O'Keefe. It could be interpreted that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm.
I just am like, there's something
That's
there.
the way I interpreted it.
Mm-hmm.
Brian Albert is, like we've said this before, he is the kingpin. Like, he's the mafioso.
You think you can handle me?
Nope, not Brian Albert.
I don't know. You're just my type.
Yeah, come on. You got any more?
Ham sandwich.
You're doing this without your little hands.
Ham sandwich.
You're doing this without the little hands. Okay, let's get into this
You're
anti-slap.
hot.
Thank you. Thank you, Higgy. You're hot too, Higgy. You're hot.
I know
All
you
right.
think he's hot.
I think Higgy's cute. I think he's a little cute, cuddly bear.
If he weren't
Except when
such a
he's not.
villain, I
Right.
probably would agree, but it's just so
I
hard to
think-
see past the villainy for me.
He's such an insecure pick-me, and he really desperately wanted like Karen to like him.
Karen.
And Karen, that's why he was like, "Oh, she's on her way. Oh,
She's hot. Karen.
Karen, you're hot."
She's the hottest girl who has ever
went to
texted
my
me and
bachelor
told me. She told me I was hot.
Karen, you want to come over to my bachelor pad? Question mark.
Karen, want to come over and have some single malt scotch with me, Karen?
You know me and Brian Albert.
You know I love my whiskey.
Like this. When like this, Karen. Does that turn you on, Karen?
Sorry, I tried to mute and I did the opposite. I muted and I wanted my sneeze to be as loud as possible.
I didn't even hear it.
Okay, it was quite loud.
All right, here we go. All right. Question mark.
I was trying to do the Melanie Little, hold please, and I literally
Hold,
did the opposite.
Hold, please. She makes me laugh so hard when she's like, "Hold please," and she's just like
She's
looking
great.
stuff up.
She's a very
She's
good
so sweet.
broadcaster. I have to say,
I
I'm
love
very
her.
impressed with her broadcasting skills. It took me a while to sort of develop taste for that flavor, but
Mm-hmm.
she's an acquired taste. I mean, I think any channel where you're just listening to one person talk for a long time is an acquired taste. But
Yes.
like talk radio, you get used to it as your companion, and she definitely has companion vibes. I like it.
I love it too. Kim, keep it moving. Hair care said he totally has a car spare cologne, and it's probably
Yes.
Draca Noir.
Oh my God, no! It's one of those polos. It's like Polo Crest, the cheap one.
I think it's Draca Noir.
Oh my God, he
Thanks for
totally
becoming a
has,
member, Susie.
and he totally has like baby wipes in his car where he's just like
Yeah, I told you. He's like,
dude wipes or whatever they're called. Axe body
Okay.
spray.
all right. Let's get into this. Anti-slap. Okay, so this is the ham defendants. I mean the ham plaintiffs. Am I right on that one? Or Hostef?
This is ham. This is ham
Okay.
plaintiffs. This is Higgins, Colin Albert, Brian Albert, Jen McCabe, and Matt McCabe versus Aidan Kearney and Karen Reed for
Yes.
defamation and basically colluding to ruin their lives by knowingly spreading lies about them on
Right.
the internet and being the orchestrators of a campaign of terror that they are still enduring today.
Correct.
So much so that Jen's dad wrote an email to DA Michael Morrissey after trial 1 talking about how his sweet, precious girl and her family's lives have been ruined.
Correct.
And
It's that
also that the DA's office should be in full support of this really good trooper named Michael Proctor.
The
who had a
wrongful
couple-
persecution.
He had a couple of unfortunate text messages that should have never been made public, and we should be
Never.
supporting our Massachusetts State Police.
Always, without fail, blindly, without any critical eye, just blindly support them. Blindly.
Okay, so the ham plaintiffs have filed a defamation suit, civil suit against Aidan Kearney and Karen Reed, and they say that they colluded to defame them. And so in response to that, Karen Reed and Aidan Kearney separately filed anti-slap motions. Now, we've gone over this before, but Rebecca, can you explain to the audience what anti-slap means in Massachusetts?
Hold on one second, because I always forget what the SLAP stands for. I know what it
Oh, do you
stands. I
want
know
me
what
to
it
do
stands for. No, it stands for
No, I got it.
Okay. I got it. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hold on.
Hold, please. Hold, please.
Strategic lawsuit against public participation is
Thank
what
you.
SLAP stands for. So a
Okay.
strategic lawsuit against public participation, as it is referred to in the anti-SLAP statutes, is that you can sue people just because you want them to shut up or to cost them a bunch of money and ruin their lives. So, for instance, if I am out there protesting a tobacco company can sue me for defamation or something, and it's really just to get me to stop. That would fall under AntiSlapp potentially. So the way the law works is that you get to file a motion early to potentially get your case thrown out before any discovery happens. And you very often can get your costs back so far. But it's a two-step test. It involves either protected speech or public participation. And then you have to be able to show that they could win and that you could be harmed, and that sort of prove that you are being pursued in a lawsuit in order to shut you up. So anyway, yeah. So just FYI, in the other defamation suit, the one that Karen Reed has filed against in the lawsuit she's filed against the House defendants, they have also filed AntiSlapp in federal court, saying that she's going after them because she just wants to continue the pattern of ruining their lives.
Right. And there are two prongs. There are two different ways that a defendant can fight against a defamation claim in the state of Massachusetts or the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. One of them is AntiSlapp, and AntiSlapp is sort of all or nothing. So a judge would look at it and say, or a jury would look at it and say, yeah, we think that this is all petitioning activity, so dismissed. Or Rule 12b-6, you can use Rule 12b-6 to fight defamation as well, and that is more granular. So the judge or a jury can look at it and go, here are 10 instances of what they're saying is defamation. We only see that 2 of them out of the 10 are defamation, so those 2 can move forward. That's how 12b-6 works.
That's right. And so this ruling that Judge Gilday put out was denial of the AntiSlapp portion of their motions to dismiss,
which is
not a denial of their entire ability to be dismissed. And they are going to appeal it with the Supreme Judicial Court in the state of Massachusetts. So discovery will likely still be stayed for a little bit while that happens, I believe.
It's going to be months. It could be, I think it's like 9 to 12 months. So discovery stops on this case until the appeal is taken care of. So Judge Gilday denied both AntiSlapp motions, and that means that that does mean that the civil defamation case, can move forward, but there is a stay on discovery. So it kind of stops everything in its tracks.
I love that.
I do too. I don't know what Gilday was thinking, because I think he got some of this wrong. I'm not a judge. I'm not a lawyer, but I think to me, it feels like he got some of this wrong. And to me, based on the law tubers that I watched a few different ones. I think it was Brother Counsel, Defense Diaries, and Melanie all sort of broke this down. And from what I gather from their coverage and their legal analysis of this, that Gilday was he was wrong. He was wrong in some of these situations. So he's only supposed to look at whether the speech was structurally aimed at getting government action, not to assume. So I think it was Allie who was making the point, Allie from Defense Diaries, Allie and Bob. Allie was making the point that the judge was basically looking at the wrong things in his denial in this. So, and it reminded me of what I was saying about the state in the Pam Smart hearing last week. They were arguing for the wrong procedure when they were arguing in the motion to dismiss the habeas petition. It sounds to me like Judge Gilday is confusing this as well, based on what Allie was talking about. But she was saying that the civil lawsuit can move forward, but the judge is only supposed to look at whether the speech was structurally aimed at getting government action, not to assume the claims in the defendant's lawsuit are true. So the plaintiff's lawsuit. Sorry. So he took the Ham plaintiffs at their word and ignored sworn affidavits from Aidan and Karen.
Right.
And he also thinks that Aidan's activities were not petitioning activities, right, because he was acting. The judge says he was acting as a spokesperson for Karen Reed so he doesn't get his own personal First Amendment protections. But Aidan was doing that well before Karen Reed contacted him through an intermediary.
Not well before, but before.
Well,
yeah.
but before. It doesn't matter. He was doing it before. And he and also doesn't he what's the question I wanted to ask? Doesn't he have the freedom? He has the freedom to express his opinions about police corruption, even if Karen and her legal team are giving him information.
Agreed. So yes, Gilday, the discovery could continue. Just to be clear, that hasn't yet been determined, but discovery could also be stopped if the Supreme Judicial Court says that it should be. So yeah, I mean, the idea that he was acting as a spokesperson for her, I understand that if you were looking at this only through the lens of the filing that the McCabe's and Alberts did and the Boston Magazine story, that is what you would believe if those are the only things you'd been exposed to. But I'm interested to know if he at some point is going to present leads and tips that he got from Karen and her team that he did not run with because he could not corroborate. I'm curious about that. I think it would strengthen his case to show the journalism behind some of his work, to show his attempting to, like, I know there was something around Lucky that he tried to confirm for a long period of time in the Department of Transportation in Canton, or the Public Works Department in Canton. I know there are things that he has been sent that he would not print because he was not able to corroborate. And I'm curious to know if he plans to reveal some of that work. I think he should, if it gets.
I would assume so. Forgiving River makes a good point when they say Gilday also doesn't understand YouTubers are.
Oh no, he does not.
We've talked about that.
Nor did that other judge. What was that crotchety old judge who was like, "You're saying 200,000 people tune in to watch you talk about your sex life?"
For the TRO.
Like, yes, they do.
Yes,
guy.
They do. Yes, that guy. I think Gilday's also really splitting hairs here on petitioning activity. He's basically saying, this is crazy to me. The rolling rally, confronting Jen McCabe at the lacrosse game, all that, it wasn't petitioning activity because he didn't notify a judge or DA about his intent. I mean, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
No, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. I mean, I think that there's a case to be made that it was not petitioning activity to confront them at the game. It was journalism activity.
Journalism.
It was gonzo-y and it was obnoxious, but it was still journalism activity. And, he revealed something I think very telling on that tape. Aside from the fact that, she wouldn't look at him or talk to him, he did reveal that Matt McCabe is an instant bully.
And he also revealed that Tom Beattie was getting bullied by these same people as he was like walking past them.
Poor Tom Beattie.
I know, poor Tom Beattie. I also, I don't like that I can see the judge's opinions, like personal opinions about people in these papers. I'll say that. His opinions are coming through. I think it's bad. I don't want to say he slammed Karen Reed, but he picks apart that Karen Reed did that interview with Terry Dunn-Muir. By the way, let me just say something for the record. All you law tubers and YouTubers out there who don't know how to pronounce Terry Dunn-Muir's name,
it's Muir.
Pissing me off.
It's Muir. It's Terry Dunn-Muir. I heard that from the horse's mouth. She told me herself. Well-known. That's how you pronounce her name.
She's been doing documentaries forever.
She's like one of the creators of Unsolved Mysteries.
Her name is not Mauer. It's not
the OG Unsolved Mysteries. Yeah.
Christ, her name is Terry Dunn-Muir.
Muir.
And she's a rat and a snitch. So get her name right.
That still confounds me.
Oof. Anyway, he's saying,
but although I do regret not asking him about The Rock instead.
Nah, don't regret that. You could ask him on. You could probably DM Misty and Eddie. You could slide into his DMs.
Also, David Muir. Yep, that's spelled differently. Terry Dunn-Muir is Meuer.
Right. Anyway, so
it is a confusing spelling name.
The judge gets all pissy about Karen doing the interview with Terry Dunn-Muir and says that it's not petitioning activity because the documentary Terry Dunmore was working on, which was Body in the Snow, would air after the verdict. What? Are you kidding me? She can talk to anybody she wants, and her lawyers can send information to journalists. Karen is fighting for her life and defending herself. She is allowed to speak to the media in order to defend herself. What the fuck is this judge talking about, Rebecca?
He's talking about his singular view. I mean, I think there is a case to be made that some of what Turtleboy does is not petitioning activity. I think there's a very solid case to be made for that. Do I think there's a more solid case to be made that he has enough petitioning activity in there that's clearly the intention of everything he does? Yeah, I do. I think that Gilday should be recused from any case involving Turtleboy, considering how he brought the Turtleboy stuff into the other matter. So, because I think that definitely he lacks the ability. I understand that it's expedient to have him overseeing both of these cases. I understand that. He lacks the ability to separate. He seems to be having trouble with the ability to separate the various issues from the various cases. They are, in fact, two different matters. And he is, I think, conflating them. And as many of us do sometimes by mistake when we talk about what was that guy in court for? Which hearing was that again? Whatever. Like how when I went to see the criminal hearing and I saw the O'Keefe's attorney there, what's his face? Diller. I was like, this is confusing. This is like worlds colliding. It is like worlds colliding, but it's as much as it's my responsibility to keep it all straight, it is for sure the judge's actual responsibility to keep it all straight. And I did say conflating, non-conversational. I got through like the D's in my SAT study book. So all of my big words begin with A, B, C, or D for reals.
Yeah, I just think that I think this judge is too old. And I think that I completely agree with you that he should not be on anything that has to do with Turtleboy. And I think that it's kind of fucked up. I wonder what the motivation is behind not ruling on the 12B6, ruling on anti-SLAPP. So this is where it's confusing to me, because if anti-SLAPP is all or nothing, and they filed 12B6 and anti-SLAPP, but anti-SLAPP is all or nothing. So he is holding off on his ruling for 12B6 because he then wants to go through every instance and then figure it out that way.
Yeah.
But he's already ruling on the thing that is all or nothing. So
well, he ruled on the thing that's all or nothing, saying there's not enough here to be anti-SLAPP. But it doesn't mean that every single claim that they've brought forward is going to go forward. He does have to go through those one at a time. That makes complete sense to me.
It makes sense to me, but why is he splitting it up and making a ruling on one and not the other?
Well, because he's saying there's not enough here for this overarching general ruling, but there might be enough here to dismiss some of this stuff. But I don't know that yet, because anti-SLAPP is like an accumulation of stuff, like an accumulation of evidence points to this, and therefore this, even if. But if he sees instances in there that he can't say, so they made their whole argument around the petitioning activity thing, right? And if he sees instances in there that he can't define that way for whatever reason, he can throw away the ones that do rise to that, but not the ones that don't. To me, that makes sense. The anti-SLAPP Act supersedes the other rulings.
But how long do you think it's going to be before he rules on 12B6?
Well, he's got plenty of time. I mean, he's in charge of the whole clock for everything. Right. And this is different than the O'Keefe's v. Reed and Restaurants case, because he's given them a very strict timeline for everything. And this case is not that. So, by the way, speaking of rulings, that Doolin ruling, Ted Daniel reported over the weekend, we're waiting for Judge Doolin to rule on whether or not Karen Reed gets her phones back, and Ken Cosgrove is going to be recused from any case involving the prosecution. Ken Cosgrove?
Robert
Cosgrove. Ken Cosgrove. Is Ken Cosgrove an actor or something? 'Cause I keep saying that. That whether or not Cosgrove was going to be recused, Doolin apparently got some more papers from Karen Reed's team, and now Cosgrove has time to respond, and that's why we have not seen a ruling yet. That's according to Ted Daniel, who has stayed on top of this. Thank you, Ted, for being such a stand-up journalist and doing your due diligence.
Yeah, we love Ted. Evidence says Gilday ruled too quickly. In my opinion, it shows he did not watch all the videos in the claim. Yeah, of course. That's what my thought is too, because like, how could you watch the hundreds of hours of video from Turtleboy?
That's what your clerks are for.
Yeah, but that's a lot to go through, and I don't think he did. I don't think he went through all of it based on the way that he ruled here. And this is why I'm confused. Cassie sort of hits this on the head for me. This is why I'm confused about why he ruled on anti-SLAPP and not 12B6. Cassie says it seems like he used the lens he's supposed to look through for the 12B6 for the anti-SLAPP. That's where I'm confused. Because when I'm saying, oh yeah, that's right, Ken Goss.
Thank you, Brianna. It was for Mad Men, and I am a huge Mad Men fan. So that's what the money's for. Yeah.
So if he's looking at the anti-SLAPP through a 12B6 lens, then he's got it wrong.
Yeah.
That's why I'm confused about it, because he's getting so granular with it. It's not supposed to be granular for anti-SLAPP. It's supposed to be all or nothing. And I just think that that's what's confusing to me. And the judge almost seems confused by his own shit. So
yeah. I think so too. I think he's conflating a lot of stuff. And I'm not saying I do blame him, because not only is he a judge, but he also has clerks. For those of you who don't know the role of a judicial clerk, they do a lot of the work. Mm-hmm. They do the reviewing. They do a lot of the writing. They do drafting opinions. Very often their drafts end up being the opinion. Like judicial clerks are the sort of additional heads a judge needs. They're lawyers, by the way. And they are either doing like an internship clerkship or like a full-time. He'd have I'm sure a full-time professional clerk, at least one, and probably also some intern clerks. So that's what they do. And so sort of like how a paralegal might be parsing all of the tweets of Kate Peter, your clerks, who are, again, lawyers, work for the judge and do a lot of that research and writing, and then provide them with sort of analyses, reports, and drafts. That's how that works.
I mean, it makes sense, because I'm assuming that his clerk was heavily involved in the situation with the leak of Michael Proctor's medical information via live tweet, because that was the day that the clerk went home early and they subbed in the other guy. You remember? So I'm assuming that Judge Gilday was blaming his clerk for what happened. That's me just reading the situation, and not knowing the facts. But the idea that the clerk was just all of a sudden gone, and this guy's jumping in I'm just a substitute for the day, I don't know what's going on, leads me to believe that Gilday was looking for somebody to blame it on, and he chose his clerk. And his clerk might have been the one in the wrong. He might have given the judge the bad information. Who knows who the clerk is and what they're doing,
Maybe it's Ken Cosgrove from Mad Men.
Maybe it is Ken Cosgrove.
That's simp. Pete hated Ken. That's what I remember. Pete hated Ken. And Harry hated Ken too. Everybody hated Ken.
I didn't finish watching Mad Men.
Oh, it's so good. It's so weird.
Did you watch Toxic Love Story yet?
No, but everyone's talking about it. Should I watch it? Should we review it on Crime Writers?
You should review it.
Then we will. Because
you definitely review it. It's interesting. I mean, it's you can kind of see a lot of the stuff coming a mile away, but I think the thing that bothered me the most about it was that it felt half done. And the focus, because they wanted to get in these big twists, they chose a focus that was wrong.
What do you mean?
Do you know the story? Do you know anything about it? Do you know anything about it?
I'm sure it has to do with a toxic love story. Isn't it a couple who's trying to out an ex or something like that for being toxic?
Yeah. I don't want to give spoilers because there's probably people here who have not seen it. Okay. But the focus should have been on a different one of the three characters. And they only spent the last 10 minutes of the documentary focused on that character. and there's some misogyny at play. That's all I'll say.
Surprise.
I know.
Surprise. People love calling women crazy. They love it.
Shaza said the second half of that doc needed a lot more. I agree. There should have been way more. There should have been either been an episode 2, which I've talked to you about before. Netflix is like, they don't like the series for some reason because they think people watch the first episode and then they tune out. They never watch the second episode. So they're trying to like put everything into like a 90-minute documentary, and it just doesn't work for cases like this. And so
they did that with the Sharilla one too. Yeah, every time I see something like this that's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Did you wait this entire episode to play that sound? I would. Yeah. I like pulling that one out when it matters. Every time something like this comes out on Netflix, I'm like, if I still work for Netflix, I would be interviewing the person who made this, and I'd have to pretend that it was really good.
I know. I was thinking about you when I watched it.
So there's that upside of no longer having that job, is now I can just watch shit on Netflix and be like, oh, that sucked. And not have to find something complimentary to say about it, which sometimes I did have to do. I mean, for the most part, everything I could always, there's something good about almost everything. Like that thing about the,
they do a lot of great things.
Remember that one about the couple? One of my favorite ones is about the couple who says that they were kidnapped and the police didn't believe the guy who says that the guy came in the police station and said, my wife and I were both tied up and they put like infrared goggles on me and they taped me up and they did all these threats against me. And I went to the bank and they came home and they didn't believe him. They thought that he killed her. And it turned out that he was telling the truth. It was the Gone Girl case.
It was like American Love Story or American Murder.
American Crime Story.
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
That was so good. Yes, I'm talking about the Netflix podcast. I'm still doing Crime Writers, but I haven't worked for Netflix since April. But that one, I would really recommend people watch that one if they haven't. It's so good. And it's really well done. Like they do a very good job of, even if I didn't know the story when I watched it, so my mind was blown. But even if you do know the story, apparently the pacing is really good for even people who know it.
Yeah.
So, American Horror Story. Yeah, that's right. That's right. So good.
Skipple Nancy gifted 5 Something's Off memberships, which is exciting because we do have a members off tonight and we're doing a second one this week, Cross Roast. So if you got those memberships, be sure to let us know. And don't forget to renew your memberships. Also, if you're here right now, there's 551 of you here. Please go like the video and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you feel inclined to send over a super chat or a tip, all the info is on the screen.
Yeah, and send us any message you want. We'll read it, even if it's gross and a complaint.
Let me see. Let me just look at my notes and make sure I got everything.
We can't play that trailer, by the way. That'll be instant demonetization.
I didn't put the sound on. That's why I didn't.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it up. People in the chat were asking what I was talking about, and so I wanted to make sure I got the title right and all that stuff. So, let's see.
Yeah, American Horror Story is one of my favorite ones we did because let's see.
So just to go back to the anti-Slapp.
No, I think it was American Crime Story. Hold on.
Something. I don't know. It's on Netflix. So this Rule 12b-6 is going to allow the judge to go through the whole motion and pick out the claims that he thinks should be out. If the Ham plaintiffs claim there are 5, like I've already went through this. If they're like there are 5 claims of defamation, he says nope, there's actually only 1. You can just keep that one instance and move forward with it. With the anti-Slapp, Gilday, he may try to slice out specific statements during the anti-Slapp review, or let the entire anti-Slapp motion fail because they found one unprotected statement without addressing the rest. So it's all complicated. I understand. I get anti-Slapp, and I think it's great that they have some sort of protection in place, and 12b-6, some sort of protection in place from these like frivolous lawsuits made by like usually corporations or people who have a ton of money going after a little person who's trying to petition the government or trying to be a journalist or is a journalist. I don't think I still, with this defamation case, I still go back to they have to prove. I don't care. I know it's going to cost everyone a lot of money to go forward, but I kind of want to see this thing go to trial because they have to prove that what Aidan said was false and that he didn't believe it. And they can't. Period. End of story. They can't.
Mm-hmm.
So what? So why are we doing this?
You have to prove 4 elements. The statements were false and defamatory, publication to a third party, fault amounting to at least negligence, and resulting economic loss or defamation per se. The defendant must have communicated an objectively false statement rather than a pure opinion. You are never, ever, 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 ever going to prove that Aidan thought he was saying something that was false. You are never. Even if you look at
Nor
his,
will you can't prove it with Karen either.
I highly recommend it. Yes, you can't prove it with Karen. Karen has a hard. Aidan should be an easier target in this because he is the publisher. He's actually a much more difficult target in this, in my opinion, because there are all the communications between him and Karen, which are coming in as evidence where he is seeking information from her to something he clearly believes is true and wants to continue writing about, right? The reason why, in my opinion, she's an easier target for the false thing is that she is the originator of the story in terms of like the story she's trying to tell publicly, right? So if she knows, now granted, I 100% will never in a million years ever think that Karen Reed killed John O'Keefe unless that Nest camera footage or whatever it was rang from across the street comes out and shows it to me, which I still would have a hard time believing because his injuries do not match.
If they had that, they would have already released it.
Of course. No, she did not kill him, and you will never convince me that she did. Yeah. However, if one believes that she actually did or could have, one could believe that then she would take things that she found on the internet or whatever and then spin it into a tale that was like an alternative tale that she gets out there. Okay. I don't think that's what she did. I'm not saying that I think that's what she did. I'm saying that someone sort of from the outside of this, like a juror, could potentially see that, well, if she knows she did it, wasn't this exactly what she would do? But proving that he knew that what he was printing was false or believed that what he was printing was false, that to me is like literally impossible. That's literally impossible. Mm-hmm. I don't even know how Kate Peter thinks that will fly. Does Kate Peter think that Turtleboy thinks that he's printing lies about Karen? Of course she doesn't, because she also believes that Karen Reed didn't kill John O'Keefe. She's just become so embedded with the other side of this because she hates him so much, because she hates Turtleboy so much. But like, who in the world could possibly believe that he thinks that Karen Reed actually killed John O'Keefe and that these other people had nothing to do with it? Who in the world could possibly think that?
The judge.
I mean, but this is going to be a jury. This is not going to be a bench trial. This is going to be a jury trial.
I'm just saying, but the judge has enough power to rule what can be shown to the jury and what isn't shown to the jury.
Sure. But a juror, he is going to testify. And in 12 people, at least, unless there are more sitting jurors so that they can dismiss some of them, 12 people have to be convinced that he thought he was lying. 12 people. I could see 12 people being more easily convinced that she knew she was lying because she was trying to cover up what she actually did. That to me is just an easier lift. I also don't think it can happen, but like, we know he will testify. We know he will. We have seen him on the stand before. He's on the stand every single day when he does his stream of consciousness streams. Like, this is why I really wish I had asked Bederow that question about what it's like having him as a client. Maybe we can get Bederow to come on.
Yeah, let's get Bederow. Science and Sass actually makes a really good point here that I want to discuss. There's more than just believing a statement is true, though. The TikTok psychic thought the history professor was a murderer, but there was no objective evidence for that statement, hence defamation. You know what they're talking about, right? This is the Kohlberger. This is the Kohlberger case.
Yes, but that's a TikTok. You're talking about somebody who makes statements that are objectively untrue because they claim to be a psychic.
Right.
Okay. No offense to any of y'all out there that believe you're psychics. Nobody is psychic. Okay. Nobody is saying,
That's
I
your
think-
opinion, Becky.
okay, maybe some people are psychic, whatever. People who claim to be psychics in the true crime community, literally none of them are psychic. Okay. That's like a whole other thing. The minute I heard they had a
You're
psychic
gonna
on
get
the
us
Maura Murray,
canceled.
I don't care. The minute I heard they had a psychic on the Maura Murray podcast, I was like, oh my God, dear God, dear Lord. Like, no, I'm sorry. But that's like saying a ghost told me that Karen actually hit John O'Keefe with her car. John's ghost told me. He remembers the whole thing and he told me. That can be like defamatory because clearly there's no such thing as John O'Keefe's ghost walking around telling people things.
You don't know.
Red mansplaining
don't
alert. Yes.
know.
Yes, I am gonna shit on psychics who claim to solve crimes. I am going
Okay.
to shit on psychics who claim to
I
solve.
believe that there are people who are psychic.
Tell me about the ones that have solved crimes.
I don't know any that have solved crimes. I'm not saying there are. I'm sure there are some out there though that have actually helped the police.
You know what else doesn't solve crimes? Profiling doesn't solve
No.
crimes. Even though the FBI profilers and former FBI profilers would like you to believe that they have solved many crimes and saved many lives. Show me a crime that has been solved by profiling. Show me one.
Get us canceled.
Mansplaining. By the way, I am far from the only person who thinks that. There's like a lot of
That's
data and studies that back that up. But yeah.
Joy.
You think people can be psychic?
I do. Of course I do. You don't?
I think that there's some like weird force of memory and premonition that sometimes happens, sure. But I think that do I think that psychics can see where bodies are to solve crimes? No.
What if
No.
a psychic actually does communicate with dead folks?
I don't know what to say about that. I don't think that that's what they're doing. I used to be much more gullible with this stuff.
Hey,
But
it's not gullible is the wrong
Have
word.
you watched that mentalist guy? That really famous mentalist guy
Yes.
who's been making the rounds?
And
Who
also
basically demonstrates that he does not need to be psychic to know what people are thinking.
yes.
I think that a lot of psychics and mediums are just really good mentalists, is what I think.
Okay. Well, all I know is that a psychic in York Beach predicted when when Lindsay and I, we were like early in our relationship and we were like,
was there like a sign outside of neon that said psychic?
yes,
Yeah.
she was awesome. And when Lindsay and I were like early in our relationship and we were sort of struggling with the long distance and having to drive back and forth and fly back and forth and all this stuff, you know, we happened to be in Short Sands and we went to get some taffy. And then we were like, let's go see a psychic. And we went to go see a psychic and we didn't tell her anything, but she told us a bunch of shit that was going to happen. And she was right.
Yeah. So a psychic knows that when
Okay.
a couple comes to them, they
Mhm.
want affirming things. That's what they want. They also can tell a new couple versus an established couple. 'Cause
Okay, I'm going
anybody
to tell you.
can.
I'm going to
Literally
tell you
anybody can.
story. Let me tell you a different story. And Joy, I appreciate the $7, and I'm going to get to your comment in just a second, but I got to tell this story. This is a dark story. This is a horrible story, but I'm going to share it with you because it's the reason I believe in psychics. Are you ready?
I'm putting my serious face on. I said it was a dark story.
It is a
Sorry,
very
I'm trying to cover my smirk.
Okay, so when I was a kid, I was like between the ages of like 5 and 10. My uncle Elliot was dating a woman named Carol. Carol was a gypsy. Do not say I'm being offensive by calling her a gypsy.
She was
It's what
literally a
called
gypsy.
She was literally a gypsy. That's what she called herself. And maybe I have some bias because Carol had 4 extremely gorgeous daughters who were all models and actors, and I was obsessed with them. That might be part of it. I loved Carol. Carol loved me. Carol was also a psychic. Carol also had vitiligo. Is that what it's called?
Vitiligo.
You can't go in the sun. And
Vitiligo.
white-
Did
was
she
white.
lose some pigment from her skin?
Yeah.
That's vitiligo.
So she was a gypsy. She was a psychic, and she gave me my first Ouija board, which terrified me.
Lesbians, let's go.
But also, I was a baby lesbian, and those things fascinated me, as well as her 4 20-something-year-old daughters who were all actors and models, and I was obsessed. And she also
Were you
gave
one
me,
of those? Sorry.
she also gave me my very best friend in the world, Maximilian Pierpont, my golden retriever, who was my best friend, who had a tragic death. But anyway, Carol came along when I was about 5 years old, when my biological mother was pregnant with my baby sister, Amanda, who you don't know about because Amanda is no longer alive. And while my mother was pregnant, all the women in my family were hanging out in my grandmother's kitchen, and I was sleeping down the hall, and Carol was there, and they were all drinking. And Carol got a premonition. She got something, whatever the psychic gets, she got it. And I could hear a bunch of commotion in the kitchen. So I got up out of bed and I snuck down the hallway and I listened around the corner, and I heard Carol predict to my mother that she would lose her baby 6 months at 6 months years old, six months old. And of course, my mother lost her goddamn mind, and so did all the women, and everybody was freaking out, and Carol was crying, everyone was crying, and Carol felt horrible that she even had to tell her this and all this stuff. And 6 months later, after Amanda was born, she on the record died of SIDS while my mother was feeding her in the middle of the night. I have since heard other stories that actually didn't happen that way and that there's something more nefarious going on, but Carol predicted the death of my baby sister.
That's very sad.
But it's also
I'm sorry that your baby sister died.
I am too. I was 5 years old, so I don't remember a lot of it. And I think that as an adult, I'm really questioning a lot of things that happened. And I'm considering looking into it myself because it was a very quiet, quick burial in Maine. And none of my family came to it. None of my family was there. I wasn't there. I was with my grandparents. My mother is obviously since passed this past January, but I've been, of course, all of my aunts are coming forward and telling me really horrible things that might have happened. But anyway, that's not the point of the story. The point of this story is that Carol predicted Amanda's death, and it happened.
And that's why you believe in psychics.
And that's why I believe in psychics.
I probably would believe in psychics too if something like that happened to me.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I don't believe, I do believe some people like rip people off. And I do think that some people are mentalists, but I do think that there are people out there who do have these abilities, but who knows if they're being used in these cases, who knows, you know what I mean? It's like, I know that there are people out there that, make money off of this kind of thing. Carol didn't. That's the other thing. That's one of the other reasons why I believe her. She never used that. She never got paid for it. It happened. She would say it in the moment, and that was it. And you moved on from it. But she was never like the lady with the crystal ball sitting in a beach shop at York Beach, taking people's money to tell them about their future.
Well, she should have. She could have made a fortune.
I
think she's very good at it.
It wasn't her nature.
You can tell that member perks are worth it by the percentage of green names in the chat. We can't all be wrong. Love you guys.
Ronk.
Speaking of Ronk, Twasn't Me says, Rebecca, someday you will realize that you don't know everything. And I don't need to be psychic to know that.
Oh,
that day will never come. No, I'm just kidding. I'm pretty sure I know that I don't know anything. Rebecca, admit it, you are a psychic. No, but I am good at reading people. Let's see.
We have lots of comments.
So many comments.
I don't want everybody
really
to get
Kris Jenner.
No,
because all of her kids ended up being models and actors. That's why she's asking.
No. Oh, I see. No, they were just really beautiful. They were like the most free-spirited people I'd ever met. I mean, I was only between the ages of 5 and 10, but yeah, I don't want everybody to be like, I understand that's a dark story. I'm okay. I'm totally okay. And it's piquing my interest to want to like look into some of the things that happen in my family and maybe write about that. But it's just to say that I do believe in psychics because I I saw a situation happen with my own eyes, and I saw a woman who wasn't taking money for it, and she was doing it because with the ability she had, she didn't want that ability, but she also felt compelled to tell people if she saw something. I don't know if it was real or not. I mean, I don't know how else. I don't know why. I don't know how it couldn't be real, but anyway.
I am psychic. My mother was too. My father's secret job skill was forecasting. That's very interesting, Marty. I wonder how you feel about people like me who don't believe in psychics. I'm not saying that. Since one of the things I want to make clear is that I believe that people think they are psychic. I don't believe that not every psychic is just a mentalist pretending to be psychic. I think that some people are very good natural mentalists and believe that there's more to it than that. But I used to believe in everything: ghosts, psychics, ESP, UFOs from other planets, all that stuff. I used to believe in everything. Fake Melania. I still kind of believe in fake Melania. Not kidding, not joking. That is my favorite conspiracy theory. It's my favorite one. But I've definitely become more. I used to believe that Amy Bradley was abducted. I don't believe that anymore. I am very open to changing my mind about things. So if somebody would like to prove to me the existence of real, legitimate psychics,
Wait,
I would
have a
love
question.
that. I would
What would
love
prove
that.
it to you? What would prove it to you, though?
What would prove it to me? Being able to discern something that's undiscernible. So if somebody were a psychic, why would they need to be in a room with me to tell me something about myself?
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by that?
If somebody watching this is psychic and tells me something about my life or that it will happen to me today that there is no way they could know, I will be more convinced than I was yesterday.
Okay. Maybe we should.
Someone says I'm at a disadvantage. I really used to believe, Marty. I really used to. And I'm not trying to any way trying to insult
Mary.
you and your
Marty.
abilities, which I'm sure are incredible. I just have. No, he didn't dismiss. He just denied it. If we use the word dismiss,
I think I put it on
apologize.
the I think I put it on the graphic.
Oh, okay. But yeah. Yeah, I need to have my own meaning. I mean, I've seen UFOs before. I just don't think they came from another planet. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. New Hampshire is a UFO hotbed, by the way. Hotbed.
Why wouldn't you think they came from another planet?
I think that if UFOs are really not of this world, it's more likely interdimensional than interplanetary, because the physics of interplanetary travel are like let me put it this way. The physics of interdimensional travel are more believable than the physics of interplanetary travel. And a lot of physicists feel the same way. I've done a lot of reading. I did a whole segment on the magazine show I used to work for about this really well-known astrophysicist who's legit, not a kook, who, believes there's enough evidence to point to UFOs, not all originating from here, but also can show that they can't possibly have come from a different planet, like across space. So I don't know. I mean, if that's true, I also think there's a lot of weird stuff in the world that we don't know about that the government's doing. So I'm a physicist and a lawyer, 100%. No, I'm not a physicist. I don't understand the physics. I do, however, understand that a trained physicist knows more about physics than I do. And I'm willing to believe that person when he tells me that.
A car didn't hit John O'Keefe, and John O'Keefe wasn't hit by a car.
John O'Keefe was not hit by. I mean, do you trust the ARCA guys? Can you imagine trusting Trooper Paul more than you trust the ARCA guys who have scientific training?
No.
I understand that a lot of people out there don't want to believe in science, the science of climate change, the science of disease, all that stuff. But like the fact that you trust ARCA more than you trust Paul tells me you actually do have faith in the scientific method. So I don't know. I would just lean toward that.
Okay.
I'm skeptic and I read tarot cards. I'm conflicted about what I feel about the cards and readings. That's good. To me, that's fun. To me, Ouija boards and tarot cards, like that stuff is fun. And even visiting a psychic on a boardwalk, really fun. I'm not saying don't do it. Like I would do it. I just have different beliefs about where the power comes from is all.
There are some, I mean, there are a lot of psychics who, really use people for money. I had a friend in LA who used to like regularly see a psychic, And this woman would like sit her down for like an hour-long session and like $300 hour-long session. She would tell her all these things, and then she'd be like, we have to, like a massage therapist says, you got to come back so we can keep working on your lumbar, blah, 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 whatever. Some psychics do the same thing. Like, we're just beginning our healing work. We're just beginning this process. You got to come back for 6 more sessions so I can get through this with you, and blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden you're out $1,500. You know what I mean? $1,800. And that's crazy. That bothers me so much.
That's culty.
So
someone says Mothman is my spirit animal. Technically, you're not supposed to say spirit animal anymore. Just FYI, it's co-opting an Indian belief system. That being said, Mothman is one of my favorite super crappy conspiracy / monster stories. The unsolved mysteries they just made about Mothman. I interviewed somebody for that. It may have been Terry Dunmure. It may have been. The Mothman in Chicago are blue herons, like 100% blue herons. 100% blue herons. And it's like the ones in Chicago anyway. It's like I saw a giant thing that looked like a bird up in the tree, but the eyes, never seen eyes like that before. And meanwhile, it's like the migration of blue herons like was a block away from this person's house. Listen.
Don't tell anyone in West Virginia you think that. Lindsay's family would be like, excuse me? Yeah. Excuse me?
I know Mothman's a cryptid. I forgot the word in the moment. I love the cryptid stuff. I love it. I love the Loch Ness Monster. I love Bigfoot. I love Mothman. I love all of those nutty stories. I think it's wild. And my favorite thing about them is that when they go down to the bottom of the ocean and they actually do find something that if it weren't in the ocean, we'd be calling it a cryptid. Like, we are openly accepting that literally anything can live in the ocean because we've seen some wild stuff. Like a submarine goes down to the Marianas Trench and they're like, look at this fish that's reading a book with glasses on. And you're like, oh, okay, well, it's in the ocean. The ocean's freaking weird.
Megalodon.
Yes.
I'm terrified of Megalodon.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it could be down there. The Megalodon
of course it
could be down
the
there.
ocean is vast and big enough
just
for
look
Megalodon.
at a blue whale. Just look at a blue whale and how wild they are. Jimothy would 100% have been a cryptid if he had existed 80 years ago. Jimothy would have been a cryptid if he existed in 2006 before we all had iPhones.
Jimothy. I love him. I want him to be my pet.
Oh, I honestly don't care if you say spirit animals or not. You can say whatever you want. I'm just saying that this is something that people will say you can't say. So just FYI. Yeah. I don't care if you say it. It's not one of those. It's not one of those ones where I'm going to die on the hill. Okay.
This is why I go into the ocean up to my chest, and that's about it. Even though I know that there are probably sharks swimming around me, but this is pretty much why I don't go in the ocean, Liz. Exactly, some wild stuff in there.
I'm just afraid of sharks, man. I am so afraid of sharks.
I'm afraid of sharks too. Me too. Ever since I saw Jaws.
That's why I love ocean swimming in the Caribbean, and I swam with sharks there or whatever, because the sharks that come near you in the Caribbean are all those cute little ones. But Atlantic sharks, oh my God. No. When we go on vacation next week, I will have the shark tracker open the whole time.
Listen, the new aerial photography we have of sharks, just within a foot proximity from people just standing in the water, freaks me the fuck out. Every time I'm in the water, I just imagine that I'm surrounded by sharks, and it sucks. I hate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want. I have this too. I don't like swimming in lakes either. So this is the whole thing.
I love swimming in lakes.
I don't like dark water, and lake water is dark. That's why I don't like it. That's why I like it. It reminds me of sharks, even though I know there's no shark in there. The little fish in there are not scary, whatever. But every time I swim at my friend's lake house and I'm floating in a thing, I'm like, I know there are no sharks in here logically, but I can't see into the water, and I don't like that. Don't like it.
When I was a kid, we had a 40-foot swimming pool above ground. Don't get it twisted. It wasn't fancy. But it had lights all the way around it. And
Jolene would not want you to mix up the two for sure. The above ground versus the in ground.
I used to night swim. I love to night swim, but because the pool was so long, I assumed that there was a shark in it because it was 40 feet long. And
40 feet?
Yeah. Easily a shark could have fit in there.
I don't understand how an above ground pool could be 40 feet long.
It was. And we had a deck that went all the way around it. and I would swim. I would do laps because I was training. So I would do laps, but I would do my laps as fast as I possibly could because I was convinced that there was a shark in the pool with me.
I just want to show people because they're giving me so much shit about this.
Okay.
This is Sharktivity. Okay. This is where I am
No.
going on vacation next week. Okay.
No.
This is literally. So I am going here and it's not that bad here. So here, no recent sightings, no sightings in the last couple weeks because I have it set for like 2 weeks. The Cape, I am sorry, but whoever is swimming in this water, I don't know if you can see it. See that? See all
Yep.
those dots?
Yep. Yep.
Whoever is swimming, there it is.
No.
Whoever is swimming in this water right off that beach, every single one of those dots is a shark sighting in the last week.
No. I mean, they had a great white sighting in York Beach. Like, I definitely used to swim in the waters at York Beach when I was a
Someone
kid.
took this
No.
photo off of the beach
No.
in Cape Cod. Like,
No.
I don't understand people who swim at the Cape. I don't do it. Don't do it.
No.
I'm sorry. And that's me sounding crazy, but I just don't know why you would. I just think it's a bad idea.
No.
I just, so you can laugh at me all you want for Sharktivity, but yeah, there was Cape Nettic and York Beach, 2 sightings this week of a
You going to
shark.
Cape Nettic? Is that where you're
No,
going?
I have been to Cape Nettic. We stayed at the Cliff House, which is in Cape Nettic, which is really beautiful. Highly
just
recommend the
remind
Cliff House if you
everybody.
want to go to a fancy hotel in Maine.
Rebecca will be gone the 1st through the 8th, so I will be doing some solo streams, as well as having some guests to co-host with
I'm
me.
going there. Yay.
Oh, I love
No
Buffalo.
shark. No sharks.
I
No
love
sharks. See, there's no sharks.
What was I saying? Oh, so I'm more than likely going to be covering Lindsay Clancy stuff. The opening arguments, court started at 9 a.m. this morning, so I'm going to go back and watch those. If Rebecca can't join me tomorrow, I will still go over the opening arguments. I'm probably not going to do it today just because we have our second stream at 5 p.m., which I hope that you all will be there for. We keep it open to the public for the first 15, 20 minutes, and then we go members only. So go ahead and get a membership if you want to join us tonight. We hope to see you there. We're talking about the Scott Peterson documentary on A&E.
And the case.
And the case. So join us. It should be a good time. We usually have a lot of laughs and we have a good time. And then we'll do cross roast, our members only cross roast a little bit later in the week. And I will keep you updated on our schedule so you know what's going on. But Rebecca, do you have anything else you want to add, or
Don't feel like you have to watch the Scott Peterson documentary before tonight. It is so boring. And I do not want to put you through it unnecessarily. We will tell you about it. We'll tell you what was in it. Oh, Mothman is important to somebody. Mothman is very important to D-Cools. I hope it's I'd love to hear that story someday. Remember when there was that movie, The Mothman Prophecies? And then in the trailer, they pronounced it Mothman?
Mothman.
Like it was some dude's last name, Mr. Mothman.
Mr. Mothman. Amanda, I will be on the lookout for your email. Lady Harlot says, I'm so excited for tonight. I need my members only content. Is Beth Karras in the documentary? No. This documentary is solely focused on the new evidence in the Scott Peterson case. And it's basically a legal analyst who is saying, is it possible that this is true? Is basically, that's how I would describe what the documentary is about.
You mean the ex-cop lady?
No, the guy, what's his name? The legal analyst.
Oh, the main guy who looks like Scott Peterson?
Yeah.
Does he not look like Scott Peterson? Like, it's weird.
I like the cop lady. I like the cop lady a lot. I liked her a lot. I wish she would break down some of what happened in Karen Reed's trial too. Also, I thought Tom Holland was really good.
Oh, good for you. I couldn't
you know what?
see it.
You know why? You know why? Because I can never say his name.
Telemachus,
thank you. Was kind of a giant pussy. And Tom Holland played him really well. He played him like a sad, whiny boy. And that's what he was in the story. So I thought he played him really well.
I'm glad that you think that, because I like Tom Holland. I'm always going to root for Tom Holland. I just really thought he looked like he came over from high school theater and was playing next to Meryl Streep.
Well, But I think he was going for that
I mean,
because I
Anne
think that's what
Hathaway
Smelly
is
Sis.
so good in
Anne
that
Hathaway
movie.
is so good, and so Zendaya. And
Yeah,
you know what
she's
I
great.
was really upset about? Is this a spoiler? The one guy's face that we didn't get to see, and I have no idea who it was, and I haven't looked it up yet on an
Who?
IMDb.
Benny
but
Safdie?
No, the guy's face that we didn't get to see, whose wife killed him. Don't say it because it'll be a spoiler.
Oh, yeah, no, we saw his face.
No,
It's Benny
never.
Safdie. I mean, he's in the credits. It's Benny Safdie.
You only see his eyes.
You're talking about.
only see his eyes.
Yeah. You're talking about
You only see his
Agamemnon.
eyes. Yeah, you only see his eyes.
Agamemnon is like my favorite portrayal in that whole movie. Agamemnon is portrayed like Darth Vader in that movie. Like I freaking
Amazing.
love it.
Amazing, but you never see his face, and I
well,
wonder if that's a little bit of a nod to Darth Vader.
Oh, totally. And it's very Darth Vader-y. And it's Benny Safdie, though, who you've seen in a million other things. He was the dad in Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And he and his brother, the Safdie brothers, have made a lot of things together. I always get them confused with those other brothers, though, Duplass brothers. There's the Safdie brothers and the Duplass brothers, and then, of course, the Duffer brothers. But let's take them off the table because everyone.
Duplass brothers?
I don't know.
I think Duplass. I think that'll help you differentiate it, actually.
But yeah, I get confused between their projects, not between who they are. Like I know who the four of them are and what they look like, but I'm like, which one's the Wild Wild Country ones and which ones are the Uncut Gem ones? Is that's when I get confused. So, but I know it now because I looked it up after seeing Benny Safdie in the movie. But
Sacred Justice, thanks for the $5, said, "Hey, beautiful ladies, Bob Hilland wrote a book with psychic John Edward Chasing Evil. They solved crimes for 30 years. I interviewed him. Cool story."
Solved in what way?
Okay, guys, I'm not saying that I'm giving away spoilers for the Odyssey. I'm giving away filmmaker spoilers, which I thought was really interesting.
Oh yeah, my favorite thing about
Not
profilers is that like after someone's caught, they're like, he exactly fit the profile. And it's like, then why didn't you use the profile to catch him? That's the whole thing. It's like the backseat quarterbacking of crime solving. The backseat drivering, not the Monday morning quarterbacking.
I'm not here to convince you about psychics. I'm just telling you my own personal experience. You are open. You are allowed to have your opinions. I am
open to it. I am open to it. I used to believe it. I am. I'm open to everything. Are you kidding me? I would love for it to be true. I would love for there to be ghosts. The world would be so much more interesting. I would love it. I don't
know if there are ghosts, but
well, then who are the mediums talking to?
They don't have to be. They don't have to be like these beings that visit us. They can just be in the in between.
Well, what about all of the ghost hunter videos where you hear a fuzzy voice going, "Get out"? What is that?
I love those videos. I don't know. I love them, but I don't know what they are.
And you know more about audio suggestibility than anything else. So
that is true. That is true. Okay. We have to run. I have to run. We will be back tonight at 5 p.m. If anything changes with that, we will let you know. But more than likely, we will be on time at 5 p.m. And we'll be talking about the Scott Peterson of it all tonight.
Just wait till Rebecca finds out what's going to happen at her son's wedding. What we're going to have a psychic?
The In-Between, a ghost chasing podcast, Lady Harlot said. Well, I already have the In-Between podcast, and it's about the gray area between guilty and not guilty, basically. Okay. I love you, Rebecca.
Love you too, girl. And I'm sorry that for those of you in the chat who think that I should fully believe in psychics, I apologize that I am not there right now.
You don't have to apologize for that. I was simply saying, I think that people get made fun of sometimes when they do believe in psychics. And so it wasn't something I wanted to believe in, but I do now. But anyway, we can talk more about it later.
I'm not going to judge anybody for their beliefs unless they are a Scientologist.
Mm-hmm.
Or one of those FLDS.
Some of the extreme culty Christianity.
Okay. I do judge people for some of their. Let's be real.
I judge.
Election deniers.
I judge people
deniers.
Too.
Okay.
I judge people.
I judge all those people.
I'm really still pissed off about the Gretchen Voss article when she tries to make it seem like Aidan showed up at the lacrosse game wearing a mask because he was trying to intimidate people when it was COVID and he took off his COVID mask.
Dude, it's like he was freaking Agamemnon showing up at the stadium.
Jesus.
He was Agamemnon, also 7 feet tall. Aidan is not 7 feet tall. Okay, I know you got to go.
Okay. All right, I gotta go. Have a good rest of your day. I'll see you at 5 p.m. Thanks so much, audience. We love you, and
Love you
goodbye.
too. Bye.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, allegedly. I'm smart.
Happy Monday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie. Happy gay summer, Mel.
Happy hump day, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm not humping anybody. I'm Rebecca Lavoie.
Happy Saturday, everybody. I am Mel Barrett. Oh, no.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and my mic is muted.
Good morning, everybody. I am Mel Barrett.
I'm Rebecca Lavoie, and that's Briscoe.
And welcome to Something's Off, a true crime podcast where we swat the haters aside with our astute takes and humor and joy. And
The joylessness
I don't give
of
a
those
fucking
people.
miss. Blah.
Hags.
You hear it first in the break in the story. One little crack and the whole thing gets wary. A witness swears but the timeline bends. A smile too smooth and the trail just ends. Mel Barrett says, hold up, look again. Rebecca Lavoie follows every thread. If it feels too neat, then it's not the truth. There's a shadow line running through the room. Something's off, something's off. You can feel it in the bones. Something's off, something's off. When the facts won't come home. Something's off, something's off. And the case won't stay in place. Something's off. We're the ones who chase.
This is
Pull it,
literally
Jimmy.
because it's 100. It's been happening for the past day.
Oh, dear God. Everywhere's a hotspot when Dr. Wolf is on the TV. Am I right? Everywhere's a hotspot when Dr. Wolf is on the TV. I'm sorry. This is very funny.
What are you laughing about?
Because you're just sitting there waiting for the video to start.
I was listening this whole time. You
Listening to what? You're not playing anything, and now you're frozen. God, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me text Mel. Let me call Mel. I'm going to call Mel.
No, I'm not answering your call. I'm not doing it.
I don't think.
Why is it? Oh, Jesus.
Maybe go back on the Wi-Fi.
I am back on the Wi-Fi. Can you hear me now? Can we do the show now? Should we do the show now? Rebecca? Rebecca, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Internet. Hello.
Hello? Hello, worldwide interwebs. Can you hear me? Let's do this. I have to look at my phone over here.
We're going to go members only.
Something's off. We're the ones who chase. Yeah, we're the ones who chase. Wait, did that witness just blink 3 times? Something's off.